right. It is 36 minutes after 7 o'clock. You are listening to Good Morning Pittsfield. Very happy to welcome to the program Monk Shane Leiden and Jackie DeGeorgis, both involved with The Whale by Samuel Hunter. That is the production by the Town Players. So, Jackie and Monk, welcome to the show. It's great to have you.
Thank you for having us.
Indeed, thank you.
So, yeah.
What is The Whale?
What is The Whale? When I think of The Whale, of course, I think of like Moby Dick and those images and so on here.
That's the first response people give us.
Yeah.
Is it about Herman Melville or Moby Dick? And our response is usually
There's a reference.
there's a reference.
Yeah.
And that reference goes through the whole entire show. But the show is not about Moby Dick,
Yeah, there's no pirate talk. You know,
much to my chagrin.
R Dickie Mo, R. No, it's not none of that. But it is interesting because it's a show about a guy who's basically eating himself to death. He's 600 pounds, and the way I describe it to people is he's 600 pounds, he's eating himself to death. He wants to reconnect with his estranged daughter. His partner, Alan, died a few years ago, and there's a Mormon at the door. So it's drama, it's a family type of thing. There's a bit of comedy involved, and it's a great story from start to finish. And you don't know where it's going to go. It's not one of these things you can predict. We don't give away the ending or anything like that. But you just once you reach the ending, you're a mess. You know,
In a good way.
in a good way.
And, those are the best kind of productions, I would say. So, Monk, are you acting in this? Are you directing?
Yeah,
What's
I'm
going on?
actually I'm playing Charlie, who is the 600-pound character.
Okay.
I've put on a few pounds for the role. I mean, I'm a method kind of actor. No, I put on only about 10 pounds. We do have a nice outfit that kind of bulks me up a bit, and yeah, so that's my part of it. You're the director.
Well, thank you for letting me know. I was always wondering what I was doing at those rehearsals. No, I'm directing The Whale. I've directed quite a bit up in the North Adams area, and this is my first directorial debut, or how you want to word it with Town Players. I've acted with the Town Players before.
Sure.
And this show, many years ago, I was looking for another show to do, and I read this show, and it was one of those that sat in the back of my head that I want to do this someday. But the limitations of having a specific type of set, a specific type of actor that is able to play this portrait of this individual, and the medical equipment that's necessary. All of these things were kind of against it at the time. And when I got asked to direct at Town Players, this was in the back of my head, and I kind of did one of those, I'll direct if you let me direct this piece. And they read it, they liked it, they said, we'll support it, and so here we are.
So what about this production, Jackie, stuck with you over the years? And, you directed before. Obviously, this one has been something special for you.
Right. As an actor, I tend towards comedy. But as a director, I find myself being drawn more to the complex dramas that are life. This is life. I love how Monk described it as. And then there's a Mormon at the door, because those are the things that happen. We get tossed into this pot with each other, and it's how we help each other get to the other side, which is the important. That's the important part. And in the play, Charlie he has his own gravitational force. I mean, just being 600 pounds, there's quite a bit. He's very stationary through the whole play, which is a real director's like, oh, what am I going to do with this character? He can't move. He can't.
Yeah, no man is an island, but Charlie's pretty close.
Exactly. And all the action happens around him. And Charlie, I think, feels that he has no control over his life and his environs, but he actually is the one who has the control over everyone else. In a good way, he's looking for redemption for himself, and in that process ends up saving these 4 other people.
So you have this dynamic here, Monk, and in a lot of ways, of course, you're an energetic guy. You're out there, you're active in life. So then to put yourself in a situation where you are in more stationary as this character, and then to sort of contrast that as how Jackie is describing, still have that much ensuing control over what is happening in this play. It's quite a bit of responsibility on your back.
Yeah, but I'm also surrounded by some really great, other actors that, I can just work with. Actually, I think we got a dream team as far as the other actors that are with us, and when they come into the room, it's just a man, it's hard to explain. There's so much energy going on there. I'm not really sedentary. There's a lot happening that I don't even think about the fact that I'm just kind of sitting there as a puddle of man,
So tell me about that transition, though. I mean, from into that character.
Oh,
now there's the acting portion of it, but literally there's the physical change that you have to make. With the suit and what have you.
The suit, the mentality, the breathing, everything goes in it to when you become Charlie. And the thing is, as you're sitting there, first of all, he is big. He's 500, 600 pounds, and that right there slows you down. It makes you think about that. All your movements, it's not easy to move around when you're that big. You can't easily get up. You can't even shift in the couch comfortably. So all that physicality comes into it. And then when you add in the fact that he has a hard time breathing, that changes your tempo as far as how you speak and how you answer a question, and everything is a struggle. So those kind of things help you do the change into Charlie and his world and his life, and he's food centric. So I get to eat a few things on stage. Well, that's how he became 600 pounds.
Right, naturally.
The guy can demolish 2 full size cheese subs. Kind of thing. It's like, here we go.
And the estrangement, or how would you describe it with the daughter? Again, not to give too much of the plot away, but there's a story that leads to that.
Right.
So
it's
how
a daughter from a previous marriage, but he decides. Well, he realizes that he is gay, and that whole previous marriage, of course, just gets destroyed, and hasn't seen her in a long time. It's time to reconnect because he thinks that his days are numbered.
So in our society, this guy has a couple of things going against him as far as the normalcy. He's a married person, discovers that he is gay, and does that lead to his obesity, or was that already an issue?
Charlie falls in love with a man named Alan, and Alan we don't know much about, but something happened to Alan where he ended up passing away, and it was the effect of that on Charlie that made him become wanting to eat himself to death. Basically, it's a kind of, I see it as kind of he's trying to punish himself for whatever. And John, when you asked me earlier about what drew me to this play, one of the first things I remember thinking about was picturing this, character sitting in this couch, and the way that the author describes the apartment that he's in. It's
disgusting.
It's, what does Ellie say?
You smell disgusting. You look disgusting. This apartment is disgusting.
Everything about you is disgusting. And that whole, how are you going to get sympathy for something like that? We're as a society, we see, and whether it's right or wrong, we see someone in that condition, and it's a kind of response. But by the end of this, you're looking at this man, and instead of backing away, you wanting to go forward. You're going to want to know more, and that to me is the beautiful thing about this piece. And I think it's a beautiful thing to keep in mind, these days.
You are listening to a 9.7 WTBR, the Brave FM, Pittsfield, Massachusetts, and you're also watching us live on PCTV Channel 16, Access Pittsfield, Pittsfield, Richmond, and in Dalton. I'm John Krol, speaking with Monk Shane Leiden. It's okay, you can wait for the camera. And Jackie
You can't
DeGeorgis.
tell which one is the actor, huh?
I assume you both have experience acting. I'm taking that in this morning. Jackie, a lot of energy. By the way, Jackie and Monk, you two. And so tell me about this experience for the first time, Jackie, with Town Players. And obviously you've acted before, as you mentioned, with the Town Players. But this particular group and this particular organization.
And the venue.
Yes.
Where is it?
It's at the Whitney.
It's going to be at the Whit. Okay.
Yes. Well, let me just preface this by saying most of my experience of directing was with the Mill City Productions in North Adams,
Sure.
who had their own space at the Heritage Park in North Adams. So being able to have the whole space to yourself and being able to set up the stage and set up, the flats and get the setting going, even prior to the first day the actors are up on it, is amazing. And I'm finding a lot of challenges with not being able to do that, because the Whitney is a shared space, and rightly so, other artistic groups want to use that space. So we kind of have to work around that. And
Sounds like you need your own space.
That's what I've been saying. They need to have. I'm spoiled. I work at all the different theaters I work at. They all have their own stages and stuff like that. And we were able to get up on the boards and work through a space. It might not be painted; it's not perfect, but at least we know where everything is. And that's a lot of what happens with an actor. It's a muscle memory type of thing. I know there's a particular line that I have to do when I walk up to a thermostat on the wall, or if a phone rings. You can start working in physical space, and it helps you memorize your lines. And when we're not in that space, and we have it taped out, but the director has no idea what this looks like from the audience because she's in our space. Her director's table is actually technically on stage presently. So once we get into the downstairs and we're able to set up the stage and be in there, and that starts tomorrow. Tonight.
Tonight's
Today's Monday. Wow, where's the time go? So that stage gets set up tonight, and we open on the 17th. So it's going to be a really compressed time to work on that stage.
Which is exciting in a way, but also very, very scary.
Yeah, well, it's a fun challenge.
Yes.
So you open the 17th, and so looking at that, Monk, so it was Town Players. You have a space soon. Is that something you're looking at, or?
I don't know what the board is at. I know that is one of the things that the board's been talking about.
Right.
I know our Mill City in North Adams, I'm a member of that board. And right now what they're looking at is looking to borrow space, which would kind of be in the same setting of what Town Players are doing right now, until we are financially solvent enough to purchase a building. Because what's difficult as a nonprofit, when it's not only getting the money for the capital funds, this is a nonprofit. People don't get paid for the work that they do here. So, like I've always told people, I'm a realistic actress. I have a day job. And so I can't, people can't be there to run the theater. I am a school teacher. I am looking closer to retirement. And when I do retire, that is what I want to do when I retire. I want to be a theater manager. so that these nonprofit
That doesn't sound like
places-
retirement at all. That sounds like the opposite of retirement.
But you know this, teaching is acting.
Yep.
I mean, you
Yeah,
never get away from it.
I
You know?
keep them entertained. And the thing is, I'm part of the Ghent Playhouse over in Ghent, New York. I'm part of their board.
they've
And we're
gorgeous
very
space.
fortunate because we have our own theater and stage. Back in, I think it was 1989, they were able to buy the Ghent Town Hall for $1. You know, that kind of thing. What a difference that makes when you have your own space, your own theater, that you can control your own lights and start building and growing and that kind of thing. Ghent is very lucky to do that stuff. And I realize every time, it's like, wow, what a benefit of having your own place to do it. So if you know of any buildings that are available for like $1,
Yeah, well, you're not talking to me. You're talking to Pittsfield right now. So, everyone listening this morning, anyone who has a space availability. I mean, you're talking about buying a building, but I'm
Yeah,
sure
no.
maybe the Town Players is open to a long-term
Well,
lease
they're renting-
or
they're
something
renting the
like that.
space at the Whitney
Yeah,
now, so-
which gives you more access.
Correct.
That gives
Yes.
you more consistent access as opposed to sharing
And a
that space.
fixer-upper is fine.
And by the way, we love the wit. We love the
how
wit,
he's-
but
the fixer-up's okay.
yeah, there's a lot of sweat equity. We're theater
Yeah.
Right.
people. We
Yes,
make it happen.
that's true. But
but there are a lot of old churches out there. We're not talking about the huge Catholic churches,
No.
Right.
which are massive projects, but there are a lot of churches out there that may be
Right.
kind of dwindling in their
And that's what the
numbers.
Schenectady Light Opera did.
Yeah.
They picked up a church up in Schenectady, and not only the church, but also the school that was next to it. And they utilized the entire thing. The school is now filled with costumes, rehearsal spaces, that kind of thing. They can have a rehearsal space for one show while there's a main show on the main stage. So these kind of things are definitely
Yeah.
doable.
that's the we have to have the arts be supported in all communities, and that's a real big push for me. But getting back to the whale,
Yeah, but this one will be at the Wit.
Okay, yes,
Maybe
this
the
is-
next
this is
production
the-
will be at
right?
another
exactly. But
wonderful
this will
location.
be at the Whitney.
And so when
opening
it
on the s-
opens on the 17th.
On the 17th.
What time?
At 8 o'clock.
All right.
I'll be there.
Yeah, he'll be there. So will I. And the other actors that we have playing are
May Rogers.
May Rogers as Liz, who is Charlie's home health aide and friend.
Yep.
Dane Shiner, who's playing Elder Thomas, the Mormon who shows up at the door, and then becomes part of the group.
Yep. Nancy.
Nancy
Twing.
Twing Schaefer. Is that it?
Yeah.
Did I get it?
I think so.
Okay. Sorry,
Don't tell
Nancy, if
Nancy.
I didn't get it right. Who plays Mary,
My ex-wife.
Charlie's ex-wife,
Yep.
and Sam Therian, who plays Ellie, the
Daughter. Yeah.
estranged daughter. And Sam is actually my daughter. And I typecast her as this obnoxious teenager, which I
Where did
don't
that
know
ever
what-
come
I don't
from?
know where that
Where
came
did that
from.
ever
She's doing really well.
I know.
She kind of slid
Tell
right
me
into
about
that character.
Actually, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, Nancy as my ex-wife Mary. I mean, she just tears into it. And this is her first, from what I understand, her first time.
First time
Up on stage.
Up on stage, she's done.
She's a
reading.
singer and done stage
right,
readings.
stage
Right.
readings, but this is her first on her feet, and she is
Killing
fabulous.
it, yeah.
I tell you, as a director, I am so lucky to have this, like you said, this golden cast
Yeah.
to work with. I will have to say, for those of you who would want to come and see it, there is very much a lot of strong adult language.
Yep.
Simply because it's
real.
It's a hard. Yeah, it's
powerful.
real. It's a
it's
hard
real,
subject.
it's powerful,
Yeah.
and a lot of it, I think, Ellie's use of the language is a shock value, as teenagers often do.
Right.
So, yeah, there is a lot of that. So that might be disconcerting to some.
I think Charlie
But-
swears only once
Yes, and only at the
at the end. Yeah, just for a second. But
Yep. And we are hoping, because this is so much involves food in the play.
right,
It's
yeah.
almost like another character in in on the stage.
And are we doing the thing?
Yes, we're doing the thing. You want to tell the people about the thing?
Well, since it is food centric, we wanted to kind of have if people did bring some non-perishable type of thing, we're going to actually help out local food pantries as well. So, as you come, if you just think about grabbing something real quick, so that we can donate it to those who need it. It was just one of those things that we just thought of. It was like, man, we got there was a play I was involved with. We did Almost Maine. And we did a clothing drive for winter coats and jackets. It was just kind of thing that was on your mind, and we did really well. So if we can take that same kind of energy and bring it to a food pantry with some donations, I think it's a win all the way around.
That'd be fantastic, and good cause, no doubt about that. So, how can people get tickets for it? We got, it's early. I mean, for you, it's coming up. It's coming up.
Look at that.
However,
I can't read the whole thing. You gotta, there we go.
Okay, she's a walking billboard.
You're a walking billboard. So March 17th, 18th, 19th, and the 24th, 25th, 26th. Fridays and Saturdays at 8 o'clock. Sundays at 2. Whitney Center for the Arts, Wendell Avenue. Tickets are on sale at the door, or 413-443-9279. And also, I believe on the website for the town players, there's a little button there where you could buy your tickets right now.
Yeah, and I assume also on Facebook, because there is a page, and that is, if you wanted to find out on Facebook, real quickly, the page is The Whale by Samuel D. Hunter. And if you just click on into that, you'll get all your information, I'm sure,
right.
With that, including links to the website and ways that you can buy tickets for it. And the cast overall, how many people in that? About a half dozen or so?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5? 5 of us.
Yeah. There's 5 of us.
And it's interesting because it seems to me that the array of productions, Mark, coming from the town players is bountiful, because it used to be town players, they'll do like 1 or 2 a year, these big productions.
Right.
But ever since they started doing these smaller productions, the array is much the
Yeah, when you have, like John Trainer just recently did the Spoon River Anthology, and the level of actors he had to do these readings was just fantastic. And with a stage reading, you're able to do a very complex work, but you don't have to. The time commitment's a lot easier on an actor. You have a couple of rehearsals, and you're up on stage dressed in black reading, and you go from there. I'm not sure how many full productions the town players has done at the Whitney. Do you know offhand?
I know this is their
96th season. Yeah.
I know that we have done so far, that I know of, there's been 4. But this is the first scene. So about 4 a year is
Okay.
what I'm thinking, because I think they do spring, summer. I think
Yeah,
that
those
they
big
go.
full
Yeah,
ones.
seasonal kind of shows.
Fantastic. Last words, Jackie. What you have something in your head that you want to get out?
Well, I have daddy issues.
E equals MC squared.
Are you? What kind of teacher are you? Are you a math
science
teacher?
teacher?
Oh, you're
I
a
don't know where
science
that came from.
Science and biology, right?
Yes, the difference between mitosis and meiosis. Were you curious
And
at all about
halitosis.
that?
Yeah. Actually, that is the one thing I remember absorbing, as it were, in biology
There you
class
go.
with
Yeah.
with Mrs. Roberto. Man, I still have tics at night with that from that class. But anyhow, yeah.
I think that people comes to see this show, they're going to be surprised about the level of commitment that they're going to have in these characters and how these characters are doing after.
And it's one of the shows that you're going to walk out afterwards and you're going to be talking about for hours and hours.
Exactly. That's what makes it.
Yeah, it's something that it's going to have a conversation. It's like, you've got to see this.
Yeah.
I can't tell you all about it. Just come and see it.
All right. So everyone go see it.
Yes.
All right, Mark.
Please.
Monk.
Yep.
Shane Leiden and Jackie. The two of you, great. Break a leg.
Thank you.
Wish you the best.
Thank
Everyone
you.
go out and buy tickets to The Whale and check it out. It sounds like a fascinating and wonderful production.
Thank you.
We'll see you
so
there.
much.
All
Yes.
right, everyone. We'll have some news coming up at the top of the hour and then talk about Cinema of Law. It's that time of year, too.